Viewers were left wide-eyed on Thursday night as Denise Welch, the mother of Taylor Swift's former flame Matty Healy, made waves on Bravo's Watch What Happens Live. The 67-year-old actress and TV personality, who is known for speaking her mind, was welcomed on the show by Andy Cohen after what she described as a chance connection during an earlier Loose Women appearance. And from the moment she sat down, you could almost feel the curiosity building. Would she really say something about Taylor? When Cohen carefully asked about Swift's blockbuster 2024 album The Tortured Poets Department, the very record fans reportedly believe hides references to her brief romance with Matty. Welch didn't dodge completely, but she didn't exactly play it safe either. In fact, the atmosphere in the studio shifted instantly. Welch took a measured tone at first, saying, "Obviously, on pain of death can I talk about that episode, but being her mother-in-law is a role that I am glad that I lost." The crowd audibly gasped. And honestly, I felt the same way watching it. It is not every day that someone that close to a pop superstar says something so direct on live TV. She quickly tried to cool the reaction, adding with a smile, "Not that I have anything against her at all. It was tricky." That word tricky hung in the air. You could sense she was choosing every syllable carefully. But then, in a moment that made me sit forward in my chair, Welch seemed to suggest something far bolder. She claimed Swift's fans can be fiercely protective, saying, "You are not allowed to say anything," and then she writes a whole album about it. There was a mix of laughter and murmurs from the audience. It was the kind of TV moment that makes you want to rewind and hear it again. Despite the sting in her words, Welch spoke warmly of her son Matty, explaining that he is reportedly handling the entire chapter with completely good grace. She even gushed about his fiancée, model and singer Gabriella, calling her gorgeous, and making it clear the family has moved on. Still, you could tell the history between Swift and Healy fascinates people. They reportedly met back in 2014 when Swift attended a 1975 concert with Selena Gomez and Ellie Goulding, and their paths crossed multiple times through the years. There were whispers of a studio collaboration in 2022 that never surfaced, followed by her surprise appearance on stage at one of his shows in January 2023. Then came the whirlwind. In April, news broke of Swift's split from Joe Alwyn, and by May, rumors of her and Healy dating had taken over the internet. Fans watched them holding hands, spotted him attending her era's tour dates, and even caught whispers of him in the studio with her. But in a twist no one expected, the romance that seemed years in the making reportedly unraveled in weeks. Healy was swept into controversy after comments on a podcast. Swift's fans began flooding social media with demands, and by early June, the two were said to have ended things. Less than a year later, the Tortured Poets Department arrived. An album filled with songs that fans insist are laced with hidden nods to Healy. Titles like Lommel, I Can Fix Him, No I Really Can, Guilty as Sin, and Fresh Out the Slammer have become a kind of puzzle for Swifties, who continue to debate which lyrics belong to which chapter of her love life. What struck me while watching Denise Welch speak was this. She clearly does not want to attack Swift, but she also refuses to ignore the double standard she feels is at play. And whether you agree with her or not, you cannot deny the curiosity her words spark. It was one of those interviews where every sentence felt like it might lead to another revelation. If you caught it live, you know exactly what I mean. And if you didn't, trust me, this is one conversation worth watching from start to finish.